everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you know what I'm going to say. Go right down here. Yeah, right down there. Go in there, find your subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, that algorithm. It be breathing down my neck. I would appreciate your help with that. Also, right here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my little channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful for that support. I have two shout outs today. One is for Lorna Williams. Lorna, you are such a great supporter of this channel, and thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks. And the other one is Mary Daniels. Mary, you are a great supporter of this channel, and thank you for your super thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you like to donate like Lorna and Mary, you can go right here. The super thanks button is right there. And any donations to this channel will always be greatly appreciated. All right, with all that said, let's get to the read, y'all. Let's get to the read. When I was putting the read together, of course, I was up and down these internet streets. I was all over the place. I was over on Instagram, and what is going on Instagram? Everything. Everything is going on over to Instagram. The squatties over there are talking about everything. It is no theme to it whatsoever. You can go over there and they are posting about everything. And that is one reason why I love Instagram so much. Also, I went back over to the dark side. I did. I did. I could not resist. It was so good yesterday, all those delicious salty tears. I had to go back with my cup and get another cup full of those salty tears. So I went back over to the dark side, and of course, they filled my cup up full because they was doing nothing but crying and whinging and complaining and just talking crap about Australia, because Australia did one thing that they hate most, and that is to reject them and reject their whole family. Mm. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, I couldn't get enough of it. That's why I was over there. Oh, and it's just panel after panel after panel of the whinging and the whining and the moaning and the lying about the crowds and everything when it comes to Charles and Camilla being over in Australia. It is just so good. Oh my goodness. It was hard for me to pull myself away, I must say. Because I'm telling you, my cup runneth over. I must say it did. But I did pull myself away and I went on over to X, formerly. No, I went to TikTok, but I didn't watch any content. I just posted over there. And it's the same little short that I posted on YouTube. So I went over there and posted something, but I didn't watch content. And then I just made my way back over to X, formerly known as Twitter. And the squatties on X are pretty much, like the ones on Instagram. They're posting about everything, but I'll tell you what is different. The squatties on X are dragging Camilla. They are dragging her through these streets, through these internet streets. They are dragging her. Her they dragging her so hard. The heels of her shoes are making sparks. That's how hard that the squatters are dragging Camilla. And we gonna talk about later why they dragging Camilla. I kind of feel a little bad for Camilla, but then I talk to myself and think about all the rotten, snaky things that she done did, how she treated this little bitty boy, and how she used him, abused him, and just thought that he would be perfectly perfect after his mother died to use in order for her to get the big head. I stopped feeling sorry about her. I do. I get into the dragging myself, you know, because I'm tenderhearted by nature, but then when I start refreshing my memory in the squatties, I go over there and they refresh my memory of who this woman really is. I said, let the dragging go on. Keep the dragging going. Let me be in on the dragging. Y'all know me. Nothing makes me happier than to be dragging Camilla. But I kind of felt bad for her today. I did. I did. It's all catching up with Camilla. And all I can say is good for her. Good for her. All right, let's start with this article right here. I'm going to put it up right here. And it is from the Telegraph, the Daily Telegraph. And of course, it is always going to be ice cream and candy and rainbows and unicorns because of the fact that Camilla's best friend is the editor over to the Telegraph. The Telegraph was the only newspaper that drug Kate on Trooping of the Colors Day. Remember? They the only one wrote that article talking about she was being booed on on Trooping of the Colors. And why did they do that? Because the bestie, the editor is Camilla's bestie. So we all know that all he's gonna write about is cake and candy and rainbows and unicorns when it comes to this Australian visit and Camilla and Charles. It ain't gonna be a hint of what really went on today. And it's a shame. It is a shame that you have national newspapers who refuse to report the truth of what's going on due to this invisible contract. It is disgusting to me. You can say a lot of things about America, and I'm telling you, you can say a lot of things about America, but I don't believe this would happen in America. They would print it. They absolutely would print it. But I'm just saying, let's go on with this article that's all about rainbows and unicorns. It says, renew a love. Crowds greet King and Queen on first public day of Australia tour. And I must say, Charles looked good. He seemed like he's interacting with it. I don't, I don't go out of my way to slam Charles. When I slam Charles, it's because it is well deserved. Now, do I go out of my way to slam Camilla? I absolutely do. I will take that and live with it. But Charles, I don't. He is a horrible father, a horrible man. Well, he's a fair father. He's a fair man. He was a fair husband. He's a fair king. He is a fair human being. But I do not go out of my way to talk negatively about him. When he does good, I'll say he does good. When he doesn't do good, I'll say he doesn't do good. But I always say he's a fair father and so on and so forth. So right here, he seemed to be interacting good. They seem to be having fun. He seemed to be holding up really well. We all know that it was a big concern about him being able to make this trip, to be engaging, to be, his stamina holding up. It was a lot. We read that Tom Sykes article, and they said that it was a lot of concern, and this was make or break for him. And so, so far, so good for Charles. I mean, as well as he can do. So let's go on. It said the couple met with cheering crowds singing God Save the Queen, Save the King outside of the church for Sunday service. The King and Queen has been welcomed to Australia by crowds of royalists and curious locals who rallied to show their support to a monarch who told them that his great joy is being there. The couple was hailed with cheers, waving Australian flags, and a flutist who learned God Save the King that morning to play it on a loop. My whole thing is, isn't he the head of, isn't he the king of Australia? Don't they sing God Save the King? Is that not their national anthem, or do they have a different one? Y'all let me know, because why would he not know if it's their national anthem? But I am going to plead ignorant on this. But I thought um if someone is the head of your head of state, that's what your national anthem would be. I don't know. Maybe it's something different. It said in a speech, the king said, "It just remains for me to say what a great joy it is to come to Australia for the first time as sovereign and to renew a love of this country, its people, which I have cherished so cherished for so long." And I believe that. He has been there so many times. I think the first time he came in 1960 something. Charles has been to Australia a lot. I think altogether, like this is his 16th time, and I believe he do love Australia as a monarch or a royalist, a member of the royal family can love a country, meaning that as long as that country is, show him deference, show him love, bend the knee to him, yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, he loved that. It said the king and queen are making their first visit to the country this reign and the first tour since his cancer diagnosis, and they underlined it. Why do they do that? I don't, well, I do know, but I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone, but I know why they do it. And you do too, because it's all about trying to manipulate you into feeling some kind of way. I'm just saying. They arrived in Sydney on Friday night, and they kind of go through that and everything like that. They talk about that. Then they talk about them going into the church, and they said many recall, the people outside, many of them recall the royal visits. A lot of them was talking about that they were there when Charles and Diana came in 1984. One woman remembers seeing the late Queen Elizabeth in her landmark visit in 1954. That's hard for me to believe that somebody's still alive and able to be out there in 1954. Come on now. How, unless you was a small child. Small child, yes, but not. Would a small child remember that? I don't know. I don't want to get stuck in it. But anyway, the king and it seemed like a lie to me. That's why I keep on running it through my head. It seemed like a lie they made up. It said the king and queen was greeted by rounds of 20 Sunday school children who delightfully shouted, "I touched the king." See, stuff like that. I believe they lying. Like that whole thing about that landmark seeing the queen in 1954. So I can pick the lies out of a story that just don't ring true to me. And saying this little kid say I touched the king and I'm famous afterwards. Let me get out of the story. But they gave, this is the rub for me. The church presented the royal visitors with gifts, including a rugby ball, a cricket ball, a toy koala for them to take home to Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. He has 5 grandchildren, not 3. And that is a rub for me. Why are you acting like Archie and Lily are totally and absolutely do not exist? I have a problem with that. That sounds like some mess that the Rangers be talking about. I had posted that short today, and somebody got in my comments talking about they are dolls, but yet and still, I pretty much went straight for the neck with them, with that nonsense because it's nonsense. I told them, what did I tell them back? I said, you can either keep it moving or I'm gonna start talking about your mama. I heard nothing back. I heard nothing back. It's a new day. It's a new day, derangers. You don't get to talk nonsense in people's comments and they don't come for your neck. I'm just saying. But I digress. Yes, that sounds like some kind of deranger mess, talking just as if Archie and Lily do not exist. That was a rub for me. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Am I overreacting? But that kind of, I didn't like that. And then they also had to be this Bible. They had to be. I don't know what word I'm searching for. Reminded, reminded that Diana's presence is around them because the Bible they signed was the same Bible. They signed this Bible in the church. And it is the same Bible that Charles and Diana signed in 1984 when they came to visit. And Camilla and him had to sign up under it, meaning that these two adulterers had to put their names in the Bible. I'm just saying, it is poetic to say the least that Diana signed that in 1984, and here they are signing it in 2024. Just a little reminder of the snaking that they had to do to get there, and it's really not doing them any good. Yeah, I love that for them. And here's some of the pictures of him coming into the church. Him and Camilla coming into the church with the little children. Very nice, very nice. And here are them signing the Bible right here. And I'm also going to put a picture up of the Bible. I know you probably can't see it, but it's over in the corner, the four corner. Yeah, Diana. Put a name down there. I just love that for them. I really, really do. I really, 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 really do. And then they came out of the church and this crowd that they had wrangled to get there. And they did just that. They wrangled. They did everything they could so somebody would show up. And this group actually did this. It's called the Australian Monarchist League. Yeah, they wrangled these people up, gave them these little flags to wave like this and back and forth to make sure that Charles and Camilla had somebody to greet. And here they come down the stairs. There they are. And uh, they did. Well, I want to talk about this really quick. They also had a second engagement, and the second engagement was at New South Wales Legislative Council to mark the bicentennial. And Charles gifted them with a hourglass, and he made this whole thing about with the sands of time encouraging brevity. It is just a reminder to me to say what a great joy it is to come to Australia for the first time as the sovereign. I think I wouldn't have got an hourglass because that's like time. I don't know, but just me. I don't like this, you know, the symbol of it, the symbolism. I don't know. Your time running out. I don't know. I think I maybe would have chose something different, but that's just me. Also, they gave us their itinerary, and of course, Saturday is gone, Sunday is gone. They had the church service, and they had the where they had the audience with the governor general and the general of the New South Wales, what we just talked about. And Monday they're going to be in Canterbury, Barra, and they're going to do the official welcome. They're going to do a commemoration of the veterans at the Australian War Memorial, and they're going to do a formal welcome to Australia's Parliament House. That's a pretty full day for a 75-year-old and a 77-year-old. And then Tuesday, they're going to do the Aboriginal smoke ceremony with the community representatives. They're going to do a meeting of the public at the Sydney Opera House, and they're going to do a Navy fleet review, which I think is going to probably be really, really beautiful. And then on Wednesday, they're leaving for Samoa. That is a lot. And if you saw how Camilla was flagging today, meaning Camilla looked like she has had some kind of mini stroke. She was not functioning on all cylinders today at all. I'm going to put this picture up of Camilla. It is it is horrible the way Camilla was behaving. She was stumbling. She was not steady on her feet. She, instead of shaking hands, she just put her hand out. People was reaching for her hand. She never made eye contact or anything. And a lot of people were saying that they thought she was rude. I think she had an event. I really do. It is something going on with Camilla. And Charles had to come over there to see about her. He could sense it. This squatty said this, and it's a quote on top of a quote. The bottom quote said, "OMG, what is wrong with her? What in the frack? I'm gonna say frack. What in the frack is wrong with her? Oh, how the monarchy has fallen." And this one said, I think she doesn't give a frack. But I think it was something wrong with her. And I'm going to put this one up. It says, Camilla is lost. She doesn't know where she is. She looked completely lost. She was stumbling. She just was not steady on her feet at all. She was not. And it's this one said, see how the queen consort Camilla, people without looking, the King Charles doesn't even, wait a minute, let me read it over. See how consort Queen Camilla greets people without looking, meaning she would not make eye contact. She wasn't making eye contact. King Charles doesn't even bother to say hi. Now, he seemed fine to me. They despise the people who showed up to see them. And this one said, wow, I mean, could she look any more bored? She doesn't even look at half of the people she shakes hand with. She wasn't shaking hands. She just put her hand out there just like this. And the people were just touching her hand. It was really, really sad. And this one said, Jesus, the horse is treating the serfs with contempt. Somebody been watching the Royal Sussex. I mean the Royal Sussex. I mean the Royal Reed. I got Byron on my mind. Somebody been watching the Royal Reed because we know over here Camilla is the horse. And oh, I lost it. Give me a minute to get it back. Sometimes I lose it. And I just lost it just then. Hold on. But yeah, she looks really, really bad, y'all. Something going on with Camilla. It is. But I tell you, the squatters ain't got no sympathy for her whatsoever. No, they don't. And look at here's a picture of her. That's the way she was. It was as if she was just giving them side fives. I mean, she just held her hand out and she never embraced the hand, squeezed it or anything. And she wasn't even trundling, she was stumbling. She was. And this is another picture of Charles coming over there to see about her and trying to guide her in a way, because he sees something going on with her. She looks like an Alzheimer's patient. We call it here in the South, we call it old timers disease instead of Alzheimer's. Yeah, and look at this picture. She was just standing there, and this man took a picture. And she looks totally void of any. I mean, it's like her eyes or it's nothing behind them. I'm just saying. And this squatter said, I find it so funny. She didn't even look at the people, shake hands, just stuck her arm out and stumbled past. Can't bear to look at these people. She did. She just stumbled past. And ooh, just horrible. And this one says Camilla is an embarrassment. She's walking like she's about to topple over after 20 gins and tonic. And Tampon doesn't look much any better. I disagree with that boy. He looks like he went to Boris Johnson's tailor, ill-fitted suit, hurrying his hurrying his drunken side chick along. She does. She looks like something going on. She looks very void. I mean, she looks like she's not all there. And I do believe that he entered the church on his own, and she maybe came later. Because when I saw the footage, it was him going into the church by himself. And maybe she came after. It's something going on with Camilla. But we all know via Tom Sykes, they would have to fall dead in front of the camera for us to really find out what's going on. But our eyes are telling us there's something going on with Camilla. You remember in that Tom Sykes article, it said that this was make or break for Charles. If he has to leave early or something like that, then it's going to be a problem because they cannot control the Australian media like they can control the British media. But I believe it might be something that they have to come home early because of Camilla. It's something going on with Camilla, that blank stare in her eyes, her inability to walk straight, him having to help her, to guide her. She just absolutely looked like she was lost. She did. I am expecting them to say something that Camilla is no longer gonna be on the tour. The king gonna have to go it alone. Because Camilla is something wrong. And this squatty said, what about eye contact? Laugh out loud. Another one bites the dust. The Swatties could care less. I had a little twinge of sympathy there for a minute. Then I started thinking about how she looked at that little 12-year-old boy and said, I'm going to use him to clear the path for me to become queen and to be accepted. I'm going to throw him under the bus as much as I can, lie on him, pretend like he went to rehab instead of my drug addicted, drug selling son. We're going to hide the fact that that happened. but we're gonna pretend like uh, this little boy is the one who has the problem. And when I started thinking about all that, and then how when Harry came home, she had turned his bedroom into her dressing room. I started not having no more twinges of sympathy for the horse. It goes back to the horse. It goes back to the horse. And this person said, is she drunk? It's something going on with her. That's all I'm saying. It is something going on with her. All right, I'm going to put up this article, and it is very interesting. It says, Why Camilla Parker Bowles is Unfit for the Crown and Your Respect. Love the title. Let's get into the article. It says Camilla Parker Bowles, now Queen Consort, has spent decades cultivating an image as a dignified royal figure. But dig a little deeper, and it's clear that she is not someone to look up to, let alone curtsy to. Don't make me have to go to church. Don't make me have to go to church, okay? JP, I can't pronounce your last name, but don't make me have to go to church. It says, yet Camilla's life, filled with betrayals, lies, and scandals, paints a very different picture. For years, she's carried on an affair with Prince Charles, now King Charles III, while both were married. Not only did this scandal uh, devastate Princess Diana, but it also shattered the trust of the British public. The affair wasn't a short lived mistake, it was a long, drawn out betrayal, dragging on for years. During this time, Camilla even pretended to be Diana's friend. Hallelujah, hallelujah. So it is so true. It's so true. It said, um, imagine befriending a woman only to sleep with her husband behind her back. It was cold, calculated, and cruel. Diana herself uh, described feelings like there was of us in this marriage. And while Diana suffered publicly, Camilla continued to live her life in impunity. Camilla's dubious behavior doesn't stop there. Her moral compass came in question again when she left the scene of a car accident after hitting another vehicle on a country road. Ordinarily, citizens who flee from such an incident face serious consequences. Yet Camilla seemed to escape without public accountability. It is a stark reminder how privilege can shield the powerful, while ordinary people are left to deal with the aftermath. Woo! It is a hard hitting article, and I love it, love it, love it. It says, and then there is the disturbing moment when Camilla met a group of children during a royal visit. Seated next to a little black girl, Camilla lifted the child's arm by the sleeve rather than touching her skin. Who remember that? Who remembers that? I do. I do. It was an appalling display of behavior suggesting an underlying prejudice. And then there was oh, wait a minute, an underlying prejudice. Hold on, let me find where I'm at. Uh, and should have no place in the modern monarchy. In recent years, Camilla has been accused of whining and dining with the very same tabloid reporters whose spent years smearing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. These reporters played a key role in stoking racial hatred and hounding Meghan, driving the couple out of the UK. The fact that Camilla associates with such figures casts a shadow over her proposed role as a unifying figure in the royal family. It's hard to see her as a bridge builder when she is mingling with those who peddle vitriol and lies. This family is supposed to be the family that serves as an example to the country. And what kind of example does this family serve? Two adulterers at the head of it. One brother who absolutely hates the other brother, not because he has done anything except be good at being himself. Harry is just good at being Harry. Harry is not trying to be William. William is trying to be Harry. And William hates the fact that Harry had a better wife. He just has a better wife. He chose better. And this is the example that this family sets for the country. One thing you could say about Elizabeth II, she always held up the standards of morality. Now, Prince Philip was shady. We all know about what is it? What's her name? Nashbull. What's her name? I forgot her first name. Penny Nashbull. That's her name. Penny Nashbull. We all know about Penny Nashbull. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I might talk on it one day. But if you're an old school squatter, you know who Penny Nashbull is and why I'm associating her with Prince Philip. But one thing about Elizabeth, she always held the standard of queen to the highest level. And she could be the head of the church because she embodied morality. But these people embody evil. That's all you can say. And it shows. And it's a rot. It is a deep rot in that monarchy. And I don't see how you're going to be able to fix it because the next king up is just as rotten as the one that's on there now. Because we all heard of rose bushes and all that kind of thing. I'm just saying. And pegging and all kinds of stuff we done heard in the wind. Now, I'm not saying that it's true because I wasn't there, but I'm saying the word on the curb is a lot of stuff that goes on, and none of it has anything to do with upholding a standard of morality. So, like I said, the rot is deep in the monarchy right now. And only George, and George seemed like he is such a sweet boy. But it's somehow the firm has a way of turning a very sweet person into a monster. So we will have to see. And it says to curtsy to Camilla is to bend the knee to someone who has past is marked by scandal, betrayal, and disregard of others. Is this the type of person we should be elevating to as a symbol of our nation? And that right there is the rub. Everywhere she go, people look at them sideways. They give them the side eye because nobody can respect her. Do you honestly think, perfect example, how many channels is on here that calls Queen Elizabeth II a horse? Zero. Zero. How many channels talk about Queen Elizabeth on the on the rotation? Like we talk about Camilla? None. Now we maybe didn't agree with her on some things. We used to call her Queen Betty, but at the end of the day, you have to give her her props. She was a proper queen. Sometimes that's what I say. I say the proper queen, so you know that I'm not talking about Charles's horse. I'll say the proper queen because Elizabeth II was a proper queen if nobody else was. And it says, should taxpayer be funding the lifestyle that rewarded behavior decent Brits would find unacceptable? Camilla Parker Bowles has lived a life of privilege, but that doesn't mean she deserves respect. The person's character, not their title, should determine whether they are worthy of admiration. Say it a little louder for the ones in the back. Say it a little louder for the ones in the back. And when you examine Camilla's character, her affair with Charles, her betrayal of Diana, her questionable actions in public, and her association with toxic tabloid culture, it becomes clear that she is not someone to look up to. And let's not forget what she did to a 12-year-old boy. And that's a reason why I don't feel sorry for Charles because he conspired with her to use his own son. I'm getting mad. I'm getting really, really mad. I am. Y'all know me. I get hyped because I cannot stand the mistreatment of children. Even though Harry is a grown man, he has made it, he has turned out to be a wonderful man. It still make me mad. I think about that little guy. Didn't have nobody, nobody. And she saw him as a easy mark. Whew, I wish she had a fail. I'm just saying, she should have failed today. All right, next time when the monarchy is facing calls for reform and relevance, uh, Camilla's behavior only deepens the divide between the Windsor and the people they're supposedly served. The public deserves better. Britain deserves better. And where is the lie in any of that? It is nowhere. It's no lie there. I'm going to put this up. It said Queen Elizabeth will always be queen. She had dignity and she did her duty. She saw people, not just crowds. And it says the downgrade of the century going from Queen Elizabeth to Queen Camilla on tour to remain head of state of Australia, yet not bothering to even look or personally interact with those who douse their hat or bend their knee. Britain's queen, y'all. I believe something was wrong with her. I really do. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Uh, because she act like something was wrong with her. She did. But we shall see. We shall see. I am going to be watching her so closely, so closely. And this squatty right here, this was the Telegraph, and they was saying that they posted this on X, formerly known as Twitter. It said crowds began gathering the first light outside of the church where King Charles and Queen Camilla will attend on Sunday service and first public appearance of their Aussie tour, which we know that that's a lie. Huge crowds expected to greet King Charles and Queen Camilla at Sydney Church, and we all know that was a lie. And this squatty said, a big lie. This is my local church. I was there. Nobody was gathering for at least these two. Most people fell upon them while going about their business, or the crowd going to the Crow Nest Festival down the road. Stay out of curiosity. Stayed out of curiosity, or plenty of protests there too, and plenty of protesters there too. So she was there. A squatter was there. That's her church. She's saying that people was just going about their business and stuff like that. And this group was rounding them up. She came back and she said, the guardian let the cat out of the bag. Turns out the people I saw uh, uh, dishing out Australian flags and herding passerbyers were the Australian Monarchs League. Hundreds of fans lined the streets outside to wave Australian flags. The Australian Monarchs League had pledged to hand out thousands of them. They were helping to get these people there. They was helping. And see, they even posted the Australian Monarchs League posted the king and queen arrived at church this morning. AML volunteers spent the morning handing out hundreds of flags to thousands of Australians who have gathered need their to I guess see their majesties. Can you imagine saying that to Camilla and Charles? It said thanks you to 5,000 plus people, which we all know that's a lie because we just saw the pictures. It was about four deep. And it wasn't like it wasn't a lot of people. It was not. It is so funny. These people are crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But this squad is said the thing about the Success Squad is that we are global. So when the rotor tries to lie about observation on the ground, there is bound to be one of us or family or friend at a near the location to provide evidence disputing Royal Rotor's lies. They should have left Megan alone. And I do. That's one thing I love about being a squatty. I love it. I love it. I love it because we are all over the place and we are not about the nonsense. Who would have knew one of the squatties was one of the church members? I just love that for us. I really do. I really, 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 really do. And then they turned up and tried to buy her film. It says, and right on cue, the rats are out wanting to misrepresent my videos. Storyful is owned by Rupert Murdoch, which I guess is down there in Australia. I never heard of Storyful. But she says owned by Rupert Murdoch, so it is a big fat no from me to them distributing and misrepresenting my video. And they said, hey, and I took her name out. I hope you're well. I'm with the news agency Storyful. Did you film the video you posted from the protest? May we distribute your video to our news partner? Will credit to you if so. Do you agree? And then they sent the link. Thank you. And she said, yes, I did film the video, and no, you do not have permission for you to have use or distribute my video. I noticed you're owned by Rupert Murdoch, and everyone associated with him is toxic and responsible for spreading misinformation. Us squatties, we are something else. I love it. I love being a squatty. I love it. I love it. I love it because we are everywhere. We are everywhere. And here's a picture of that crowd they rounded up, and they want us to believe that that was 5,000 people. Stop it. Stop it. It was not. And look at this. I mean, it is pretty pathetic. I'm just saying. Pretty pathetic. This squatty said, maybe it's just my timeline, but for people who love to brag about popularity and crowd size, there sure is a lack of footage showing the rapturous crowd down under. Seems seems cameras do not work in Australia because it wasn't a rapturous crowd. It was about 500 people at the most. And I just love that for them. I really do. And I don't think it could, if it had been any more, Camilla wouldn't have been able to make it. Camilla is something going on with Camilla. They got two doctors on this trip, and they say it's for Charles, but it might be for Camilla because something going on with Camilla. Look at this picture of Camilla. She is absolutely look like she is a deer in the headlights, and just got a hand out, just absolutely just doing the bare minimum. It's sad, and look at this crowd, how little it is. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. And oh, David is back. You remember I told you David, he is just continues to post pictures on X of Diana when she was in Australia as protest. And this is Diana and this little girl, and look, it's the crowd. Now that is a crowd. That's about whew, what, 30 deep? Yeah. And here's another picture of Diana looking so beautiful. Diana was a natural beauty. Look at her, so beautiful. And how he could leave her and go for a horse, I don't know. It just says everything about Charles. It says everything about him. And it's not good. That's all I'm saying. And look at this crowd. You see that little red polka dot red jacket? That's Diana. And look at the people. And they were loving her. And Charles could not take the groans when they were grown and said, because Diana was on the other side. Instead of thinking, man, look what I found, he said, I got to destroy her because she's more popular than me. That's what he was saying. Instead of Harry said, look what I found. Isn't that something? And there's something going on with William and Kate because Kate is not being seen with William no more. William have absolutely cut her loose. And he cannot draw flies, so I don't know what the deal is, but I will keep watching it. And here is another picture saying Charles and Camilla could never draw this kind of crowd. And Charles, if they not for him, he'd rather have 2 or 3 people there. His ego is so fragile. His self-esteem, his sense of who he is so twisted that he could not see that if all he had to do was to be the great husband to his wife, people would have loved him too. Just like people love Harry too. We love Meghan, but we love Harry too because Harry loves Meghan. That's why. And that's what would have happened with Charles. We would have all loved Charles because Charles loved Diana. But he couldn't do it. He was just too broken inside. Anyway, this is a new segment, and I'm going to put Harry's face up. I'm going to start a new segment when you see this face of Harry. Y'all remember this is face Harry made on 60 Minutes when Anderson Cooper was talking about William, saying he was bald and he was lose. He had, what did he say? He was bald and he said something else. Oh, he was losing Diana's looks. Basically, Diana had snatched the looks back. And when he read that passage in Spare, this is the face that Harry made. Harry is just as messy. Ooh, he got a little messiness in him. He does, and he has a little pettiness in him. And that's why I love Harry. Now, Megan doesn't seem like she has it in her. Sometimes I think Megan is messy by accident, but Harry definitely is not messy by accident, and he's not petty by accident. He is very intentional in what he is doing, and I love it. I love it about him. So when you see this, I'm about to be petty and I'm about to be messy. All right, I'm gonna put this up. We done saw it before, but I wanted to bring it back around because I just love it. And it just speaks to me because I'm messy and I'm petty. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about this. It says, I see why the royal family welcomed Mike Tyndall and James Middleton. Y'all remember we lived through all that nonsense about how these men and these other people were just so welcoming to the royal family. So Megan must have been wrong. Something wrong with Megan. There's nothing wrong with the royal family. And the squatters just start digging and digging and going through people's dreams and their imaginations and their aspirations, and they found this. I see why the royal family welcomed Mike Tyndall and James Middleton with open arms. Mike cheats on his wife, and there is the picture. And James is married but likes men, and there is the I love it. I just love it. And I am going to keep bringing that up. Now, that is not the last time y'all going to see that. I'm going to keep it and I'm going to bring it up every time I need it. Every time I'm feeling messy, I will be bringing up the fact that Mike Tyndall is a cheater and James Middleton like men, but he's married. I'm just saying. I love the messiness of it. And I'm going to put this one up. It said, yet there is, okay, I'm going to read the bottom of it. It says, they didn't give her SHIT. We're going to say it. They didn't give her shh. She had to pay for her own clothes while other women's got budget. All right. All of the other folks had budget, but Charles wanted to say he couldn't pay for Megan. What's she going to eat? Is she going to keep on acting? Wanted to treat her different from the jump. Wanted to treat her different from the jump. And Frogmore was taken back from Harry and Meghan after they refurbished it and paid rent with their own money. Megan was working for free while every working member got an allowance for working for the firm. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? And this squatty said, yet there is enough money to put the king's side farm to relatives on his payroll. Where's the lie? Didn't want to give Megan anything, didn't give Megan anything. That was their excuse for not getting her any help when she was in trouble and wanted to unalive herself, saying that she wasn't even an employee. She didn't even rate the point where she was even an employee enough to get health insurance or anything. I mean, really? Here she is married to the king, well, the future king's son, and they treated her like this. And then they expected her to take everything was dished out because just being adjacent to this family is supposed to be such an honor that you're supposed to eat. Shh. And when she decided she did not want to eat, shh, and left, they had the nerve to be offended. And yes, Let's all talk about how Charles set up all of um, these trust accounts for his horse's family. But I bet you Archie and Lily don't have nothing. I'm willing to bet you not nothing. But big face Tom Parker Bowles and his family, and that ugly daughter of Camilla who looks just like her. I mean, she looks just like her, and she is every bit as ugly as she is. They all got trust accounts, but not for Harry's children. And I bet Harry wouldn't if it hadn't been for his gang, and maybe the Queen left him some money. It is disgusting the way they did Megan. It is disgusting the way this family did Megan. Now I don't feel sorry for none of them. I don't feel sorry for none of them. And this is also messy. I love this. This particular squatter said, spent a good 5 minutes hiding nonsense tabloid magazines at the supermarket today. Was thrilled to see that the magazines I hid behind slow moving stock 4 months ago are still there where I put them. These supermarkets should thank me for giving their customer a more pleasant shopping experience. This right here is a hardcore squatty. When you are going in the supermarket and taking all these tabloids and putting them behind Mechanics Digest or what is it, crossword puzzle books, and you put them behind there and you come back 4 months later and they still behind it. I love it. I love it. Tell me that's not messy. Tell me that's not messy. That is so messy. And here's another messy thing. I told you when you see Harry make that face, I'm gonna be messy. I found this. It said I found Homilla's cookbook, and take a look at what it said. It said 50 ways to eat cock, healthy chicken recipes with balls. It's a real cookbook. It is a real cookbook. Oh my God. I'm telling you, I don't even want to go in this cookbook, but boy, is it funny. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And this is the last thing. Look here. Don't tell me he been having heart troubles. Jeremy Clarkson. Said he done had a heart procedure. Said he came in from holiday and he was clammy and all that, and he was having tingling in his hand, his arm and stuff, and he went and he had to have a heart procedure. I tell you what shocked me when I heard this. It shocked me because not because he needed a heart procedure, but the fact that he had a heart. This man got a heart. Wow. I thought he had a rock up in there. So that was shocking to me. And this squatty said, ah, may all of the wishes on Megan befall you. Yes. Didn't he have a whole buttload of wishes for Megan? And I tell you another one. This squatty made a good point. He said, wait, he's 64? Boy, he looks terrible. He does. It is a guy here on YouTube. I watch him, and he always be rating people's face, talking about she. Somebody be 23. He says she looks a good 45 in the face, and so I'm gonna rate Jeremy Clarkson. Even though he's 62, he looks a good 85 in the face. I'm just saying. Is that the way 64 is supposed to look? Wow. Wowzer. All right, y'all. I got to put up Kitty Cat. I got to put up Kitty Cat. I can see in her soul. She drunk, but I can see it in her soul. And somebody made a good point the other day. They say you'll never find a picture of Megan looking like that. But yet and still Megan is supposed to be the lesser. Just think about that. Just think about that. And it's plenty of pictures of this nonsense on the internet. And I might change it come later because it's plenty of it. And it said Megan ruined my life by having a work ethic. I'm sure she did, Kitty Cat. I'm sure she did. You had to catch cancer, so you had to get away, so you could get away. And also this Sussex Squad, if you mess with Harry and Meghan, we will literally eat your face off. We will go through your dreams and analyze your admirations. We will. And we'll find what we're looking for. All right, y'all. Bye. Bye. Sorry I'm so late, but had a busy day. Bye.